How's it going, YouTube? Dylan here, and welcome to an episode of content that you didn't subscribe for. So in this video, we're going to talk specifically about how I lost almost 25 pounds in 90 days as a software engineer. Now, why am I making this particular video in general? Well, let me take you back to one of the first internships that I had at a tech company. If you're familiar with kind of how the tech company works, a lot of them offer free food, right? So when I was working on this street at this tech company, I would eat the free food because as a broke college student, who doesn't want free, right? But as a result, I gained a lot of weight, and that really derailed my fitness goals. Also, what I noticed is it made me feel a lot more lethargic, and it made me feel a lot more tired. I didn't have as much energy, which definitely played into my work performance, right? That was one of the reasons why when my contract expired, it didn't get renewed. Right? At least that's one of the reasons. But I don't want that to happen to you, and that's kind of why diet's really important. And obviously you have the vanity part of it, which, is universal, how everybody wants to look good, and everyone wants to feel better in their skin. So I'm going to tell you exactly how I lost 25 pounds in 90 days. So the first thing I want to cover is the 80-20 principle. Now, why am I covering the 80-20 principle? So if 80% of your diet is really, really good, and you have a cheat meal 20% of the time, you're still in a good place, right? So that's really what I focused on, is during the week, I would be good with my diet. I would, pack my little lunch in Tupperware containers, and what I'd focus on is I was focused on protein, right? So even though free food was offered at these companies, I'd still have my container, I'd pack it with some chicken breast, and I'd flavor it with some hot sauce or something like that, and then I'd eat that. What's the reason for this? Well, first thing is protein's expensive, right? So a lot of these tech companies will get their lunches catered, at least at the company I work for, or they're going to have less of it, right? Because honestly, especially nowadays in 2023, meat is expensive. There's no denying that. And meat has always been more expensive as opposed to, say, carbohydrates or even fats. And I find this especially the case in America, right? The standard American diet is quite high in salts, sugars, and fats. Why is this? Because obviously you can artificially make these products at a really cheap price, but it's also plentiful as compared to meat. So I'd pack my meat every day, I'd eat that, and I'd focus on getting 1 pound per gram of protein, right? That's the first thing that you want to focus on. So eating 1 gram per pound of body weight. So let's say that you're a 200-pound male, you want to eat 200 grams of protein. And with the rest of the calories that you eat every day, what you want to do is you can just backfill it with whatever you want. So that's kind of what I did, is I would eat free food, but I'd focus on my staples, which was the chicken, right? And then at some point, it was just an experimental process on which products made me feel good, right? Gave me the most energy, because obviously as software engineers, you're probably a lot more concerned about that than just purely on the vanity aspect of it. So what actually made me feel good? What actually made me feel good was complex carbohydrates. Now, for my specific situation, I really responded well to oatmeal and white rice, right? When I ate brown rice, for example, what I found was I was very bloated. My stomach was feeling uncomfortable, and I'd be thinking about that a lot more than my work, right? Because your body is a natural organism, and it's gonna feed all the attention towards something's not right. So it might not work for you. Maybe you're more of a potatoes kind of guy, right? But that's what's worked for me, is my main carbohydrate sources were rice and oatmeal. And that's basically what I ate for carbs during the weekdays. During the weekends, I would basically have a Costco rotisserie chicken because it was cheap. And I would have a cheat meal on a Saturday or a Sunday, depending on what I was doing that day. So that was coming back to the 80-20 rule of, if you're 80% of the time, you're good on your diet, and 20% of the time, if you had a cheat meal here, if you have a little bit of pizza, or you have some ice cream, or you go out to eat, totally fine, right? As long as you get your protein in, as long as you get your 1 gram per pound of body weight, you're totally good, right? So let's talk about the more performance side of things and what I found to respond best with my body. So what I found to respond best to is I like to focus on lean meats, so chicken breast, turkey breast, eggs is kind of lean, egg whites. Those are the type of things that sat well in my stomach and allowed me to work a long time, right? Another thing that I like to do is intermittent fasting. So for those of you who are not into the whole fitness game, intermittent fasting is basically you would fast for 16 hours. So basically I have my last meal at the nighttime. I'd sleep, I wouldn't eat breakfast, and my first meal would be a brunch. What that did for me was, one, I like to eat big portions. So it allowed me to eat more, but still get under my calories that I needed in order to lose weight, to lose the 25 pounds. And also, it allows you to, it just allows you to eat more. That was basically the extent of that, right? So that's what I found to work great. And I found that when I was intermittent fasting, I had a lot of energy on an empty stomach when I just had a cup of coffee, right? As soon as I started eating my first meal at lunch, my energy level went down the toilet, right? So after a lot of experimentation, I do think that during your first meal, you should just focus on your protein, and then later on during the day when you're tired anyway, when you're having dinner with the family, then you can have your carbs, because I found that carbs were a lot heavier on the stomach as opposed to your traditional like during the lunchtime, right? So that's kind of what I did to lose 25 pounds. And let's talk a little bit about, lastly, the gym portion of it. What did I do in the actual gym? So first of all, my exercise of choice is obviously weightlifting, because weightlifting does burn a lot more calories. So what I do is I do 30 minutes of cardio, steady state cardio, just on a bike. I do a little bit of Duolingo or something, or I'd scroll through Instagram or something like that. And then I would focus on pyramid training, right? So what you do is I would get through 2 to 4 exercises, and I just do a pyramid. So I do 50 reps of one exercise, then take 50 seconds of rest, 40 seconds, 40 reps, then 40 seconds, 30 reps, 30 seconds, 20 reps, 20 seconds of rest, 10 reps, and I go all the way back up. Now, why did I do this? One, because I really enjoy high repetition, low weight, but also because it burns more calories, right? So that's exactly how I lost 25 pounds in 90 days, and how you can too. Try it out for yourself. And what you'll also get from this is, you're going to get increased energy levels, and you're going to look better. And who doesn't want that? So if you enjoyed the content, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really lets me know that you enjoy videos just like this, and really helps support the channel, and lets me know and encourages me to make more content just like this. And without further ado, I'll see you on the next video.